I'm live with the Onyx Path news. Thank you very much for coming to watch another exciting edition of the news, because as we all know, we can't get enough news right now. This week's news has been terribly exciting the world over, but thankfully you won't have to be worried with geopolitical goings on in these 5 or so minutes, because we're going to be discussing more gamey things. Gamey things like they came from the snake-filled submarine, which may sound nonsensical, and that's because it is. They came from the Snake-Filled Submarine as a source book that we at Onyx Path released this week. It's only short, it's one of our tasty bits, only costs $1.99, and it is based entirely loosely on a B movie of recent years by the name of Silent Venom, which was discussed at length in the Onyx Pathcast a few weeks ago. Maybe even a couple of months ago now. And the purpose of they came from the snake-filled submarine is to get a bit of that snakes on a plane feel into your Beneath the Sea game, but it also acts as a primer. Something that a lot of people have asked me is, well, I can see how you can run They Came From Beneath the Sea as a one-shot, but how are you supposed to run it as a campaign? Well, They Came From the Snake-Filled Submarine, while it may not advertise that in the title, does exactly that. It comes with a full-blown scenario that can be played across multiple sessions. It comes with playable characters. It comes with fresh antagonists. And there's lots of places you can go with it afterwards. So, if you want to play a game set on board a nuclear submarine with nasty aquatic reptiles, They Came From the Snake-Filled Submarine is a good pick for you. It only costs $1.99. It's already a copper seller on Drive-Thru-RPG as well, which isn't bad for a book with such a peculiar title. I do suggest it out. I'm very proud of it and all the work I put into it. Now, all that aside, we also have still ongoing our Lore of the Traditions Kickstarter for Mage the Ascension 20th Anniversary Edition. Lore of the Traditions is, of course, our big book of playable options and storyteller advice, meta plot, lore seeds, new powers, all kinds of things for Mage the Ascension that covers all of the main traditions. Now, the reason and yes, as Travis Legg in the comments has just said, if you by peculiar you mean brilliant, They Came From the Snake-Filled Submarine is a brilliant title. And thank you very much, Edwin Wessels, for also showing up. Good day to you as well, or Godag, as you might say. Now, I was talking about Lore of the Traditions, and that is a book that has already passed 300% of our funding target on Kickstarter. It has already unlocked several book stretch goals, along with other things such as VTTs, wallpapers, and so on. And it just keeps going on. Mage the Ascension, as I mentioned in last week's news, is one of the most popular World of Darkness games. That's probably the second most popular. I'm sure the Mage fans will love to know that they're second place. But they are, but it's true, it is. And so we aren't too surprised with the response, but we're still incredibly gratified to see how popular it's been. Do back that, because we have more stretch goals planned. We want it to continue to do well, and we want to keep delivering stretch goals for people who are backing it. We want to reward the support that you folks show to our games. And the Kickstarter still has a couple of weeks on the clock, so do check it out at some point by then. And if you can look at it now, well, it's in the video description below, just the same as everything I am talking about. So yes, do take a look at Lore of the Traditions. We are very happy with that. Moving on from that, we also, and just in case I wasn't clear about it enough last week, saw Prometheus Unbound for Trinity Continuum Eon that has all of our PSI orders for the Trinity Continuum. So many playable options, so many story hooks. And it's doing so well on Drive-Thru-RPG as well. It is one thing to see a core book stay in the top 5, like They Came From Beyond the Grave did for quite a while. But to see a source book like Prometheus Unbound stay there means word of mouth is working. People are talking about this book. It adds so much more to your Trinity Continuum Aeon games. And the sales justifying that. I don't try to get too much into figures or anything like that, but rest assured we are very happy with how this sourcebook is doing. I would love for you to check it out. If you haven't delved into the Trinity Continuum before, that's a 3-header you can get. Trinity Continuum Core Book, Eon, Prometheus Unbound, and you will have years of gameplay from those 3 books. If that's too much of an investment and you play D&D, well, you already own 3 books for that game, so, it's not too much to ask. But yeah, we're very happy with Prometheus Unbound. It's been receiving fantastic feedback. We're very, very happy with it. I should say, as an aside, that also we saw Forbidden Religions for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition released by Renegade. We actually created the book. Renegade are selling it. You can find that on Drive-Thru RPG too. Also, still available for pre-order with art being released. You can see some of the art on the onyxpath.com's blog every Monday. Is Assassins for Trinity Continuum. And never before has a pre-order run through Drive-Thru RPG done so well for us. It's really telling us that this is a good avenue for selling our books by doing as we do with Kickstarter of releasing a piece of the manuscript every passing week. We've done that in full now for Assassin, so if you pre-order it, you can see the entire manuscript before the book is fully released. That's a book that, unless I'm very much mistaken, I think has already hit a gold seller rating on Drive-Thru RPG, and that's a book that right now is just manuscript form on there. So again, it shows how well people enjoy the concept of playing Hitmen, Deadly Viper, Assassination Squad style characters in the Trinity Continuum. I think it's, one of these things a lot of people find fun as a concept. There's a link below to the pre-order, so please do that. Final thing, because I have to be in a recording in 5 minutes for the Onyx Pathcast, is that we are still looking for media creators. I will mention it every single week because we keep getting correspondence from people who want to run actual plays, do deep dives, interviews, podcasts, reviews, character creation sessions, and so on. And that's wonderful. Please do use the link right near the bottom of the video description where you can submit your suggestions, your requests, or propose yourself to run something like that. We will support you, we'll provide you with the materials you need in order to do this kind of thing, and we would love to have you help us out. Now, I'll quickly check through the comments as, yes, as long as there is a quip, these mother snakes on this mother submarine. I'm not swearing because it's the middle of the afternoon. I've got some decorum. Alain says, hi, I hope Valmacia is going very, very well for you, Alain. This is our Sluresian Vault book that Alain put out last week for Scarred Lands. It was a fantastic looking book. If you love Scarred Lands and love D&D, do check out Valmacia. Donnie says, when the Monday meeting notes took out the section about what projects are at what stages, we were told that it would be a monthly thing, but when in the month is that going to be done? Probably at the end of the month. Like when we do a monthly roundup of sales, we do that. We have done that every month for the last Lord knows how many years, so we'll probably do it like that going forward. Donnie Hanby is very happy with Prometheus Unbound, and mission statements is still to come. Travis is saying the buzz within the fan community for Prometheus Unbound has been incredibly good. It has indeed. It's Electrum seller. Thank you for correcting me, Donnie. I prefer Electrum to gold anyway. It's a nicer color. And then we have, yes, Dalmatia. There we go. It's an Italian Pugmire Scarred Lands crossover. And now I must go because I need to host a Mage the Ascension round table episode on the Onyx Pathcast. So do check that out in the coming weeks. With all that said, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you for next week's Onyx Path news with more releases, more news, and more teasers about upcoming content.